All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. Haley here, one of the nutrition providers from Vitality Health Matrix. And this month, if you didn't see in our post, we're doing a series called March Myth Busting, where we'll be covering topics or myths that are passed around the health and dieting space and working to debunk them. So for today's topic, I'm going to talk about the myth that we may have bought into at one point, and that is eating breakfast and eating too much protein will make me gain weight. All right, so this concern has been brought up on several occasions when talking with patients, typically at their onboarding, especially when we talk about protein intake and making a goal for one, ensuring breakfast is being had, and two, that an optimal amount of protein is also being had at breakfast. So again, there's concern that by focusing on these things is going to lead to weight gain. So let's dive into this so I can help give you encouragement and just a better understanding what's really going on here. All right, so first, I get that we could easily think that because we think of this equation that if I eat more, I'm going to gain more. But in regards to eating more high quality protein and nutrient dense foods in general, this actually just isn't the case. This doesn't apply here. So for an example, if you increase your dietary protein to, let's say, 100 grams per day, all right, the amount of calories that yields is only 400 calories. And I just say this to put it into perspective. Of course, we're not focusing on counting calories here, right, or weighing macros or anything like that, but I just felt like this is a good bite of knowledge to have. And to add to this, consuming complete protein has a direct impact on muscle, which means it increases your metabolism. So while it sounds like you're only eating 100 grams of protein, and that's where your 400 calories are coming from, right? You actually use up to about 20% of that energy just by metabolizing that protein. So with that, it would be very difficult to gain weight. And there's evidence from studies that show this to be true. All right, now the only thing that can happen if you quote unquote overeat on protein is that your body composition will continue to improve. It will get better, which means you are losing fat. Now, of course, we want to ensure that your specific protein intake is catering to your unique goals, right? An activity level or exercise routine that you have, because again, everybody is so different. So our needs and requirements, especially nutritionally, are going to look different too. But where clients typically are in terms of grams of protein being consumed, there's usually room to grow in this area. And truly, like 9.9 times out of 10, I am not concerned. And if I do see something, then of course, that's where I or your nutrition provider, anybody is going to speak up, right? We're going to help you get right back on the right path. But truly, I don't ever come across concerns in this area. All right, now I have to quickly add that we need to be aware of the quality of our food. And of course, in this case, protein, right? When explaining what I just did for protein intake, I'm really talking about whole food protein. So the chicken, beef, turkey, salmon, eggs, bison, other fish, right? Other ruminants, and the list can go on. Not necessarily our protein bars or other processed protein options that, yes, I totally get. They are convenient and they are okay on occasion, right? But we also have to take into the fact that, they also can sneak in sugar or other ingredients that, could be leading to an imbalance in the body or an inflammatory response if that said ingredient maybe isn't agreeing with your gut, for example, right? So this is just something that we have to be aware of, which is why we always advocate for reaching for whole foods, those whole food options first and leaving those processed options when you're in a pinch. Again, on occasion, that is okay. But, if we just tell ourselves, well, we're too busy to, prep or, spend 5 minutes in creating a meal, then we're just going to continue to reach for those processed sources there. And again, yeah, that's something is always better than nothing. I will always say that and stand by that. But we have to be aware that we're not just getting protein with that bar. We're getting some other things as well that, again, could be leading to an imbalance or that inflammatory response that we want to shy away from as much as possible, right? Because then when we allow the body to release that inflammation and not have those disruptions and imbalances, that's when the body feels safe to heal. Okay, and that's what we are always trying to achieve. So with that said, I feel, I have to add something here. So I just feel like it would be doing you a disservice if I didn't explain this part as well. Okay, so sometimes in scenarios when an individual is maybe coming to us who has done a lot of fad diets in the past and or is currently under eating throughout the day and skipping breakfast, right? Where you're just not even reaching a good baseline of calories that are truly needed in the day. Again, I know we don't count calories here, but we do sometimes have to look at that because on occasion, and we need to ensure that your body is getting that fuel, that dense nutrition that it needs, okay? So they might, this individual might see a slight weight increase once they begin focusing on those 3 complete nutrient-dense meals in the day, before experiencing actual weight loss due to several physiological factors, okay? So let me say that again. For an individual who might be very under eating, skipping meals, skipping breakfast, right? Just not getting enough of that fuel that their body truly needs, they might experience a slight increase on the scale, even though they came here for weight loss, right? And there is weight that likely needs to be released. It's not going to immediately go in that direction. And again, there's several physiological factors that can contribute to this. So number one, this could be due to increased glycogen stores. Okay, so when someone is chronically under eating, their glycogen stores, which is the body's reserve of glucose that provides energy to the cells, all right? These stores are depleted. So when they start eating regular meals, especially breakfast, their body restores this glycogen, which holds about 3 to 4 times its weight in water. Now, this can cause a temporary increase in weight. And really what we're seeing on this scale, I know it can be alarming and I know it can be upsetting and totally defeating, being like, I came here for weight loss and I'm seeing weight gain. What is going on here? But it is not fat gain. This is water retention that will release once your glycogen stores start to balance back out. Okay, and this, we could see this weight gain, just slight weight gain, due to several other things as well. So number 2, we also have to note that, we can see this in the beginning due to the fact that we're increasing food volume and your digestion is having to make the adjustments due to this differing in volume. All right, so what I'm saying here is when we have more food, that equals more food weight in the digestive tract, right? That makes sense there. Now, an individual, when they aren't eating much, right, in the past, their digestion may be sluggish. That is a very common thing that we see with some individuals, struggling with constipation because they're just not getting in enough volume to really push through that digestive tract and create consistent bowel movements, right? So as we adjust food volume and give the body what it truly needs, we need to give the body time to adjust as well. And it could be normal to experience temporary bloating or slight inconsistency in bowel movements as their gut adjusts. But likely a lot of the time we do see this regulate out, bowel movements become more consistent, and again, that weight starts to go in the right direction. All right. So my last point that I want to make on this, and that is surrounding our metabolism. So when we start eating more, having breakfast every day, right? Focusing on nutrient-dense foods and optimal amount of protein, one, your metabolic rate starts increasing. So some things to note is that chronic undereating greatly slows down metabolism because the body is doing its best to conserve energy in order to prevent starvation. All right, so when you begin to eat enough calories and nutrients, this signals to the body that food is available, and this encourages it to burn energy more efficiently rather than storing it. All right, now this may take, a little bit of time to recalibrate, of course. We have to recalibrate the metabolism, so that the body can actually see that, hey, we're safe. We're not starving. We're getting this dense nutrition that we need, and this will help to turn back on these key functions that, we need to balance our bodies, right? And feel really good. But again, you need to give your body time and grace as it undergoes this, because it just went through a lot to try and support you and, get you through this starvation time that it felt like it was in. So again, just love on your body so much and know that yes, we might be seeing a slight uptick, but we are again recalibrating your metabolism and helping your body to know that it's safe and it's okay and it's getting well fed and nourished, and it's going to start coming right back down. The scale, meaning, is going to start coming right back down as you continue leaning in with these new habits. All right, now secondly, in regards to your metabolism, thermic effect of food, otherwise known as TEF, this increases. So another thing to note is digestion in itself burns calories. So thermic effect of food, or TEF, like I said, is the energy required to process food. So when someone starts eating whole nutrient-dense foods, just building up on that and really giving, again, what the body needs, especially in regards to protein and fiber-rich foods, their body has to work harder to digest them, which actually increases caloric burn in the body. So all of these things, this will absolutely help to serve your metabolism. It will help to balance cortisol levels and your other hormones too. Again, we are always trying to get you into a good, healthy metabolic rate, right? So this will also help to balance blood sugar. It all will work together and helping the body to actually achieve a healthy weight, because it now feels safe and supported to actually do so, right? Not continue to gain weight. So yes, in the very beginning of this chat here, doing these things will help to lose weight, achieve that healthy, sustainable weight that you're after. But sometimes in some scenarios, just based on the individual and their history and what they're coming to us with, we might see a slight increase at first on the scale. And I know, again, that could be so defeating, but we have to continue to lean in, trust the process, trust the science, and trust your body. And these things will turn back on, right? These key functions will start to rev back up, and it will start to come back down, and you will start to feel so much better. All right. Again, I know it sounds so counterintuitive, but like I said, our bodies are so smart. They do not make mistakes. We just have to be willing to work with our bodies so we can help them reach homeostasis, right? Which is achieving that overall internal balance despite our external environment. All right. Well, that is all I have to say for today in regards to eating protein, eating breakfast, eating complete meals throughout the day, and really how that helps to nourish the body, not stress the body out and create weight gain. All right. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining.